People will come, Ray. They'll come to Iowa for reasons they can't even fathom. They'll turn into your driveway, not knowing for sure why they're doing it. They'll arrive at your door as innocent as children, longing for the past. Of course, we won't mind if you look around, you'll say. It's only $20 per person. And they'll pass over the money without even thinking about it. For it is money they have and peace they lack. And they'll walk off to the bleachers and sit in their short sleeves on a perfect afternoon and find they have reserved seats somewhere along the baselines where they sat when they were children and cheer their heroes. And they'll watch the game, and it'll be as they dip themselves in magic waters. The memories will be so thick they'll have to brush them away from their faces. People will come, Ray. The one constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball. America has rolled by like an army of steamrollers. It's been erased like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again. But baseball has marked the time. This field, this game, is a part of our past. It reminds us of all that once was good and that could be again. Oh, people will come, Ray. People will most definitely come. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Riverfront. That's an interesting way to start it, Nate. That speech doesn't sound way better coming from with my voice, my accent, than it is from James Earl Jones.
Well, you reached your peak when you played the voice of Darth Vader in the Star Wars series, but you're getting there. That gave me goosebumps. I loved it.
Yeah, clearly I'm the Darth Vader of this show, but it's the Field of Dreams game, and we're live, obviously, on all our platforms. Hopefully, we'll have some folks join us tonight. Feel free to jump into the chat, ask some questions, and we'll try our best to answer them. This is the Riverfront. I'm Chad Dodson. He's Nate Dodson, and we thought it'd be fun to go live at least for the first part of this Field of Dreams game because not a lot that the Reds have been playing for in recent years, but man, I'm more pumped up for this game than I've been for a Reds game in a long time. Are you the same, or is this just me?
It's definitely not just you. It hadn't affected me too much. I guess I was, life is busy, so I didn't spend a lot of time thinking about it. And then as today came, I woke up. It was the first thing on my mind. I started doing some research for the podcast, put Field of Dreams on in the background, and that's when it all hit me. Like, no matter what, there's a quote from the game, or from the movie. It just says, any game becomes important when you know and love the players. And I thought, you know what? This Red season is a disaster, but we know the players. We love them. We love the team. It's what Field of Dreams, it's what baseball's all about. So I'm excited to be doing this at this time.
Yeah, absolutely. When everyone around baseball's thinking Reds and the Cubs. Come on. Reds and two of the worst teams in baseball for the Field of Dreams game. But you know what? Two of the oldest franchises, two of the franchises with the most storied history. If you've seen the uniforms that they're going to wear yet, then incredible. Just amazing uniform. Maybe we'll talk some more about that. But sure, why not Reds and Cubs? Because this game's not about who's going to make the playoffs and who's going to whatever's going to happen the rest of the season. This game tonight, this Field of Dreams game, I'm a sucker for this type of thing. Oh, man, there comes Ken Griffey Jr. and Ken Griffey Sr. walking out of the corn. Are you kidding me? Oh, my goodness, if you're not watching this, first of all, you're probably watching YouTube and not the game. You've lost your mind. But there comes Junior and Senior walking out of the corn. That's just outstanding. This is what I'm talking about. The Reds stink. The Cubs stink. We keep saying that. We shouldn't probably. But they're going to have a catch, and I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry, Nate. But it's two franchises that have two of the most passionate fan bases in all of baseball. And if you don't believe that's true of the Reds, you're wrong. Just ask anyone that writes about the Reds online. They'll tell you that compare us to most teams in baseball, we have a crazy fan base. I mean that in a good way, just insane about this team. And so, it makes all the sense in the world to me why the Reds and the Cubs would be in this game. I think it would have made more sense to have the Reds and the White Sox, since that was the 1919 World Series. That was but other than that, I just think, yes, it makes sense because who cares what the standings are today? It's about baseball. And the Cincinnati Reds and the Chicago Cubs are baseball and have been for a long time. So that's my long-winded way of saying, who cares if they got two teams that are not very good? It'd be fun anyway, right?
Absolutely. It's what baseball's all about. It's, simpler times before these little devices in our hands were trying to convince us that we all hate each other. It's, it's family, it's community, it's passion, it's baseball.
Yeah. So, but of course, we need the Reds to win, and we're happy that Nick Lodolo is pitching and not Mike Minor. Right? Oh, there comes Johnny Bench out of the corn. Oh, Johnny Bench walking out of the. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I'm trying to break the game up. So if I space out for a minute, it's because I'm trying to get this thing to work.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, again, we're doing something, and I know a lot of you we're a second screen for you all. Oh, there comes Barry Larkin out of the corn in those uniforms. Joey Votto. Oh man, I just can't wait to see Austin Romine wearing the 1919 Reds uniform. Again, we're the second screen experience for many of you, but I hope you're listening to us here as you watch the Reds, because this is a night to celebrate Cincinnati baseball, and we have other nights to to not celebrate. I guess plenty of those. This is just I'm pumped up. I'm excited. We're going to talk about we're going to have a regular podcast where we're going to talk about everything that that's happened over the past week and all that. But the reason I wanted to go live tonight is this is a good opportunity, and this will be everywhere on all our channels. You'll see this later if you weren't able to tune in live. But this is an opportunity to celebrate this team that we spend so much of our time obsessing about, and see them on a national stage. And a little disappointed that King Griffey Jr. couldn't have been bothered to put on a Cincinnati Reds shirt for this when he walked out there. At least Senior did. Senior's a loyal Redleg. But I don't know. It's fun to celebrate this team sometime and forget about the standings. I think that's what I'm saying, Nate. Am I rambling?
Yes, you are rambling, but that doesn't mean you're wrong. It's fun seeing the rest of the country talk about the Reds. We don't. I remember being a kid, and when there was baseball tonight, you just wait around for that 90 seconds where they brought up our favorite team, and then it's gone. And you have to wait until the next hour to see it again. And then that stopped happening. They stopped showing every team. So you just never got the Reds unless they were playing one of the big boys. So events like this, 2 years ago when they were rocking all of the old historical uniforms, it's great for the team. It's great for the fans. It's great for baseball because people don't know the history and the pageantry that Cincinnati has.
Yeah, opening day in Cincinnati is our time to celebrate the Reds, and not any time after opening day in recent years. And so I don't know, anytime that we can kind of give other baseball fans a little insight into why we're obsessed with this team, and they may by watching this team tonight, they may not understand why we're obsessed with this team, but because I'm, again, Austin Romine and etc. But still, they're the Cincinnati Reds, they're the team that won the 1919 World Series, as we'll talk about later. They're the Big Red Machine. They're Ted Kluszewski. They're the Griffies. They are Barry Larkin. It's all these legendary names, players, and teams. And are they the Yankees? No, but do you want to be a fan of the Yankees? I guess if you want things to be easy, but I don't know. To me, I'm okay with being a Reds fan, and nights like this kind of emboldened me in that. If that makes any sense, Nate.
Yeah, absolutely. There haven't been too many other great reasons to be a Reds fan, especially recently. Actually, went up and looked up some data on that. It just occurred to me this morning. I was like, wonder how many times in my 37 years the Reds have been competitive on August 10th, like legitimately in the hunt for a playoff spot. I don't know why I looked this up. I don't know why I do this to myself, but The only real criteria I used were that the Reds had to be in striking distance on August 10th, and that meant within 5 games of a playoff spot and top 3 in the division. Like I said, I'm 37. I really, really love baseball. I've made this a giant part of my life, and only 8 years out of my 37 have the Cincinnati Reds been playing meaningful baseball on August 10th. So that's not
yeah, I'm sorry. We had some technical difficulties there, it looks like, for a moment, but I hope everything was okay for the viewers. Yeah, I caught the end of that, Nate. That's not great. I thought we were going to talk about good stuff now.
Well, you got to kind of set the foundation. The reason games like this mean so much to Reds fans, compared to fans of some other franchises, I think, is because this is a just no holds barred, no arguments, evening of celebration for the Cincinnati Reds. And we haven't gotten many, and I sure like it when we do, and I hope we get way more. But This one we have. This is a definite. And this is something we can do.
Please more. Let's talk just quickly about. Looks like we have a guest that's just appeared here in a moment. Special guest. Let him get his camera adjusted, and we'll bring him on. It's the one, the only.
Hey,
Moonlight Garber.
Greetings.
Feedback or something there. I don't know what that is. Can you hear that?
Problems? Do we have problems?
Maybe some audio.
All right, let me give me a second.
I'm getting him out of here. He's ruining the podcast. As usual, Chris Garber is ruining the podcast.
And just so everybody knows real quick, we can see all the comments popping up. We're trying to figure out how to get those to show up on the live screen. So if we space out or something, that's what we're trying to do. But I see everything that gets popped up there. Thank you everybody for the comments. I love it. Keep it up.
Are they up there, Nate? Because I don't see them.
I see Joe Farfsing. We've got Reds Minor Leagues, who said more like Field of Crushed Dreams.
All right. I can't see him because this is a garbage platform we're using. So whenever you see a good one, you're going to have to mention it for us. Yeah,
I'll be on comment duty.
All right, let's see if Moonlight Garber has figured this thing out yet.
There we go.
Big Joe Burrow fan, that Chris Garber.
Joey Gaditza says, sad that Tyler Stevenson's not a part of this, and I have to agree with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Boy. Yeah, these are the types of games you want to see. What's that, Garber? Did you try to say something?
Is this better? Am I still ruining it?
Oh no! Well, you're still ruining it, but in a different way.
I got a new computer, so I'm.
Just for the podcast, right?
We allowed product placement.
Yes, absolutely.
We're looking for our first sponsor. Go ahead and flash that up there. Chris, your hair looks wonderful as always.
Yeah, it's. I apologize for the hair. I was doing some yard work, and I got
luxurious.
Most of the yard in my hair, so I was bouffanting it to get all the grass out of it.
Well, you look great. We're jealous over here.
Thank you.
Oh, Rich Thompson, I see the comments are showing up now, but yeah, I've got a hat almost exactly like that, like John Smoltz's cap that he's wearing, but I only wear it when I'm outside of the country for whatever reason. That's it.
What is
I don't feel like I can wear it. I don't feel like I can wear it in America. Yes, yeah. No, I wear my Kango occasionally too. Only when I'm, karaokeing Mama Said Knock You Out. Can we talk briefly about the movie? Nate, I'm not sure you knew this, but Field of Dreams is a movie. It's a film.
Wayne's World?
Wayne's World.
Not that different movie.
I heard someone say today, literally on a podcast that I listened to, they're asking for movie recommendations, and someone recommended Wayne's World 2. Not Wayne's World. Completely seriously. Wayne's World 2.
I don't know what's that one about.
I have no idea. I think probably Wayne and Garth were doing some wacky antics and hijinks. Yeah. Chris, let me ask you we talked about this a little bit. What do you think about these uniforms?
I like them. I'm not a big white hat guy when it comes to baseball, but these work, and I kind of like that someone called on Twitter the pith helmet look that they've got going with the white helmets. That's one thing that drives me nuts is when they do like a special throwback uniform or some kind of special uniform, and they roll out like the standard helmet.
Right. Yeah.
Like, come on, you couldn't cough up $60 or whatever. You're going through 10 dozen baseballs a game, but you couldn't cough up for a couple of hard hats.
I'm with you. Yeah, the hats. I don't generally love a white hat, but these work somehow. And yeah, I'm with you, man. Give us the helmets, and those helmets. I can't wait to see presuming the Reds actually get to bat. I don't know how this game works. Is it like regular baseball? I mean, I don't know, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah. Now, you know what's really cool is they have those white uniforms, which I guess are like a 1919 throwback.
Yes.
And the attention to detail is amazing because they have that beautiful swoosh on the chest.
That's from 1919.
And it just really makes the whole thing come together.
Yeah, I think that was the old Spalding Sporting Goods logo back in 1919. Yeah, that's questionable. But then again, you gotta sell some merch, I guess. When they did this thing a couple of years ago, when the Reds did the uniform thing, I guess maybe it's a sort of that we have to kind of pick and choose our moments to be happy. But I got a kick out of all the throwback uniforms that year. I mean, I just thought that was I don't know. I enjoyed it. These were not my favorite ones, but these are pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I love seeing Derek Dietrich in all those different outfits.
Derek Dietrich had some unfortunate news this week. Did you all see that?
Whoops.
I wouldn't even call it unfortunate.
Yeah. It's surprising, though. I didn't see that coming.
I want to see baseball, like a separate league, obviously, where Derek Dietrich takes all of the steroids and they see what kind of stats he can put up at the age of 65.
Well, steroids are encouraged.
Yeah. That was my thing when the steroid area, everybody wants to get mad about it, but I was always like, I like home runs. I think they should be mandatory. Steroids should be mandatory. That's my hot take. So, Chris, when you dropped in, we were just getting ready I was going to lead us into a discussion of something that I know you and I have had a conversation about in the past. And you've occasionally mocked me about this, but
here we go.
The actual movie, Field of Dreams. Chris, as I understand it, first of all, who is that on the mound holding a piece of corn and handing it to Johnny Bench?
I think it's Roy Clark.
Roy Clark from Hee Haw?
Yeah, I was looking at those publicity photos for this game that they shot sometime a few weeks ago, and I swear to God, they're from the set of Hee Haw, which you can visit at the Country Music Hall of Fame in Nashville. But
nice.
Yeah.
All right, two things. First of all, I was getting ready to say Joe Farfsing beat me to it, but I figured that was Fergie Jenkins. The other thing is, why don't they recreate the world famous appearance by Johnny Bench on Hee Haw? Have y'all seen that on the YouTubes?
That's glorious.
Johnny Bench was on Hee Haw. Nate, Hee Haw was a show back a long time ago before you were aware of things.
No.
It's exactly. I mean, there's a million shows like it now, but at the time, it was a country music, country comedy variety hour. So
we loved it.
I was at my grandparents' house on a Saturday night. We were watching Hee Haw.
Absolutely. What about Field of Dreams?
But if you go back and look at Hee Haw, I mean, anybody who was anybody was on that show in terms of country music. They had incredible music on that show.
Well, there were only three networks, so had to put them on somewhere. But
they played country and western,
both types of music, right?
Time.
Yeah. I'm with Rich Thompson here.
Yes, sir.
Why aren't the umpires wearing 1919 uniforms?
That's pathetic.
Yeah, they should be embarrassed.
They should have done the whole thing. Like, I know they have to put the seats there and people are paying a lot, so they have to look kind of good, but they should have the whole place should be old timey. There should be like ropes with like people standing in the outfield.
Right. Yeah.
The fence
You know?
should be corn. There
Yeah.
shouldn't be a fence in the back. Can't you
Yeah,
just
I
see
think
some
that-
dude running full steam ahead back into the corn?
Okay. Well, I guess
Well,
I'm gonna reveal for myself that I didn't watch the game last year. That's a fence out there. They don't.
Yeah,
it
there's
is.
a
like
clear
picture
clear
corn.
mesh fence in front of the corn. Yeah,
Oh,
it's got a
my
door in it.
goodness.
I'm just
All right,
looking at
that's
the lineup
outrageous.
here. Are we on the same place? Are they showing the lineup and Barrero just made a play? I'm not behind, am I?
You might be ahead, actually, because I haven't seen that yet. I'm getting ready for the first pitch on my stream.
Oh.
This is the dangers of streaming.
Sorry, spoiler. Red's got an out.
Shocked.
All right, I'll pause it.
Yeah,
You
do
just
that.
Tell me.
That's really disappointing. You know what would make this even better if we had the Duke boys running some corn mash. I don't know. I'm
It's
sorry.
not, I don't think that show is set in Iowa.
Oh, it's not. No. So the movie Field of Dreams. We're not going to get around to talking about the Reds, maybe because we've gotten distracted for 21 minutes. Oh man, make the play, Jose. Make the play, Jose. That hat looks great on Jose Barrero.
Doesn't it look good? Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It does.
That guy's a stud. They don't need any other shortstops. They're good.
No, I think we need to move that third baseman back over to shortstop. Shouldn't you put the farmer at short on the night we're playing out in the fields?
They could, they could do. No, never mind.
You don't want to get.
I don't want the farmer mob after me.
There you go,
The
Nate.
farm
What do you think about the movie Field of Dreams, Nate?
Sorry, I'm trying to get this game pulled up. My Fox app's not working. I always loved the movie. Baseball has been such a big part of my life from the get-go. But as I got older, it sort of slid down the rankings of my favorite baseball movies. I mean, I always hold a special place in my heart, but it just wasn't at the top of the list. And then
Is it behind? It's behind that Keanu Reeves movie, right? The Keanu Reeves baseball
obviously.
movie.
I actually put non-baseball related Keanu Reeves movies above it also. Just
Well,
because of
John
Keanu.
Wick.
John Wick.
Great baseball movie. But I was I was able to work from home today and had it on in the background. And I swear, whenever he picks up Archie Graham, when he introduces himself as Archie Graham in the car with Terrence Mann and Ray Kinsella, like goosebumps. Then when Karen falls off the bleachers and Moonlight was just kind of stole the show in his brief appearances, but the movie hits different as you get older. When you reach that certain age when I guess you start being a little more conscious of your own mortality, that movie, it has a different meaning.
Good Lord, Nate, you're a lot younger than me. I don't need to hear you talking about your own mortality. Good grief.
I think
I have to think about it longer.
I watched it a few weeks ago, or maybe I got into it anyway. I don't think I finished it, but that movie is such a boomer movie in retrospect.
Here we go. The
whole school board, like there's just stuff in there, man. That school board scene.
Oh yeah.
Where there's like 600 people at a school board meeting.
That's ripped out of the headlines. 2021.
Yeah, fair. And then then I started doing the math on the everybody in the state of Iowa is on Ray about the economics of this thing. And I'm like, it's like an acre and a half that he plowed under. It's like $7 worth of corn that he lost.
All right, here we go.
But it's good. It's good. I like it. I'm with you, Nate, that the Moonlight Graham stuff really holds up. I think the Amy Madigan, they could just maybe we need to make a cut of that movie that's like 63 minutes. Where like all of Amy Madigan is gone, all of Timothy Busfield is gone. And honestly, half of James Earl Jones is gone.
Oh, good Lord.
You leave the Allman Brothers. You leave the Allman Brothers in it. You leave Ray Liotta batting right-handed.
And Chris wants to make a TikTok with just the players walking out of the corn. That's basically what he's saying. Let's have the players walking out of the corn. Let's see, Moonlight Graham step up to the plate.
They could have left the entire Allman Brothers Jessica song in and driving in their little hippie bus. And that'd have been great.
I've been,
Have
you
you read the
know,
book? We've talked about
I have
this many
read-
times.
yeah, I have read the book, and it's good. It's good. I like the book, but
It's Steinbeck? Is that right? Uh-oh.
W.P. Kinsella. Uh-oh.
No, I mean the James Earl Jones guy. Isn't that supposed to be John Steinbeck?
Oh, yeah. I think so. Yeah. But anyway, two things. First of all, you missed the opening here where, that speech that James Earl Jones gives. He did it well, but wouldn't you have loved to have heard it in my accent? Don't answer that.
I'll have to rewind it. I'm going to rewind that too.
Many, many years ago, at this point, probably on one of the episode number 28 of this dumb show we've been doing for too long. Chris spent some time mocking me about the fact that I'm a gooey Field of Dreams fan. I've never forgotten those words. A gooey
Is that the words?
Field of Dreams fans.
I can paint a picture, man.
And I have to admit it, I am. The movie is flawed. I love movies, and I talk about movies a lot. It's flawed. I will concede. But I'm a sucker for it. I'm a sucker for it every single time. And I'm sorry, but that just is what it is. Nico Horner's a real player.
I will tell you that's cool. They're showing a shot of the scoreboard right now. I don't know if you have it. That's really cool.
It is cool. Yeah. I see it.
And the replay of that double when they from the high home plate angle, and you could see all the corn behind, and you watch Senzel, I guess it is, making the playoff center field wall. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is cool. It is cool. I'll say this: we were talking about the wall earlier. Oh no! Don't give. He didn't.
Come on, low to low.
Low to low. Good grief. You mentioned Nick Senzel's our center fielder. Now I want to double down on my wish that it was corn out there instead of a wall, just in case he has to go out there and run into the corn. So, yeah, we have another guest. Go ahead.
They have temporary lights there, or are they permanent?
I don't know.
That's like a thing, right? MLB quality lights is like a specific standard.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it really the baseball secondary to the gooey aspects of We Love Baseball. The actual game is, I guess.
We got another guest. Am I getting booted? Can I
no,
move
you're
on
not
down
getting,
the couch?
What's funny is you're wearing your Bengals jersey, and we appreciate that. Bengals, Bingles, Bengals.
That's how we say it.
Exactly. And we thought, we wanted to bring on our buddy Joe Farfsing to talk a little bit of football. We thought that might be fun, but we haven't even gotten to anywhere on our list of things we want to talk about yet because we've just been dreamily talking about. You're disruptive. But we're going to bring. We thought we'd bring Joe Farfsing on to talk about the Bengals as we usually do, and so here he is, along with Moonlight Garber. We have Shoeless Joe Burrow. How are you, Joe?
Doing well. How are you guys doing tonight?
Well, we were doing better until it turned out that Nick Lodolo sucks. Oh, they're who cares? It's like the Bugs Bunny cartoon at this point where they're marching around the bases, but who cares at this point?
I have to go downstairs to a living room full of Cub fans in a few minutes.
Oh, gross.
He's just
we've talked. I told you all that Nick Lodolo sucks.
Sorry. I'm behaving like Bobcat Goldthwait when I should be behaving like Burt Reynolds and move down the couch.
I didn't understand a word of that.
Tonight Show references.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, that's right. Oh, there we go. Joe, how you doing, man?
Hey, still as good as I was 30 seconds ago when you asked the question.
Sorry, this thing got off the rails very quickly.
I don't understand why you think it would ever stay on the track with Garber and then dragging me on as well. It's disaster and not. It'll be fun.
I will say for anyone that's listened or watched this show in the past, they know that the ratio of time staying on the rails versus going off the rails is much higher when Garber appears.
It's true.
I'm a chaos
Jose
agent.
Barrero. How great is Jose Barrero? I mean, I think we need to ask that question. That's the topic of the week. How great
Is he
Jose
the
Barrero?
greatest red shortstop of all time?
He's the greatest
Or
on the
basket.
roster.
Since Felipe Lopez.
At least. Hey, Jose Barrero, since we do need to talk about it, it's a commercial now because the top of the first is finally over. Barrero had a good game this week, 2-home run game, and that was great. But as it turns out, he can't hit a breaking ball to save his life. We have a viewer mail question. These questions, of course, come from our friends at patreon.com/redlegradio. This one's from our buddy Kyle Kapler. Question is, with the impressive list of obscure former Reds on this year's team, will Jose Barrero be included on it? Is Jose Barrero a future obscure former Red?
God, I hope not. Willie Mo Barrero.
Willie. What do you think, Joe? Is Jose Barrero? Are you high on Barrero, or are you wait and see?
I'm definitely not high on him. I mean, with all the guys that they brought in, and with De La Cruz, he's gone way down the list of the 35 shortstops in the organization. I'm giving the rest of the year, give him the rest of the year and let him, sink or swim. So I have my guesses where he'll end up, but let him try. Give him the shot.
Still young enough that he could be the guy that was the best prospect in the organization. Really not that long ago, but I'm same way. I don't know what to expect. He did have a 2-home run game, which is great. I never had a 2-home run game. I also never had a 1-home run game, but he also has really struggles when a pitch isn't straight. And so there's that. What do you think, Garber?
I just realized he's 24. I really like that guy. I do have. There's a little bit of that Aristides Aquino slider phobia in him. I think the thing though with Barrero, and Joe kind of hinted at it, that gets me is there seems to be a little bit of this mentality of Reds fans are ready to throw him away with all the confidence in the world that the next dude who's exactly like him is going to be can't miss.
That's Reds fans.
It's like, well, we've got a 19-year-old guy in A-ball who's got a lot of potential, so we can count on that. And it's like, well, all these dudes are the same. You could throw now De La Cruz is different, but you could throw those other 6 dudes in a row, and they could all be Jose Barrero or upside Zach Cozart. That's probably where they are.
Yeah.
And now it's good.
No.
Lottery. Go ahead.
They're all going to pan out. This is what I'm told on the Twitters. They're all going to pan out.
Well, I bought 10 lottery tickets on Saturday at the Ohio State Fair because they have an every single Ohio governmental agency has a booth at the fair, including the Lottery Commission. So I bought 10 lottery tickets and spent $20. And 9 of them got me nothing, and 1 of them got me $1. And that's how I feel about minor league shortstop.
That's too perfect.
I want you to weigh in, Nate. No, Jonathan India. Please don't. No. Those helmets, by the way, Chris, you were talking about earlier, those helmets do look incredible in action. Listen, I'm not going to give up on Barrero yet. There are reasons why he didn't do great in the minor leagues this year, the hamate injury. But on the other hand, I'm kind of like, appendixless Joe Burrow down there. He is 24 now, and okay, it's time to show it. But he has done it. I guess has he done it in AAA? I don't know. I'm just saying. Now's the time to show me. But if they can get 2 of these crazy good shortstops that are all of a sudden in the league to act, or in the system to actually be players, that'd be a great rate of return. And before you weigh in on Barrero, Nate, I do have to ask Chris one last thing. What did the Ohio Parole Board booth look like at the State Fair?
I didn't. The parole board was one of the few things I didn't find. They actually had a passport for kids to fill out, where you had to go around to like 10 different governmental agencies and get it stamped, and then you drop it in the thing, and it goes in for like free tuition at a state college. So we went around. Yeah, it was cool. It was cool.
That's actually, I was getting ready to mock it.
Patrol, the mental health board, secondary education, primary education, public health. But it was interesting that this is way off the rails, but the other elected government officials were not included in the governor's passport. So like the Secretary of State, you didn't have to go there.
Well,
or the Attorney General, you didn't have to go there. So anyway.
I was getting ready to mock that, thinking, well, only some kid whose dad or mom happens to be a civics teacher or something's making them get that passport. But if you got a chance, it turns into a lottery. Nate Barrero, Jose Barrero, where are you on Jose
Ohio
Barrero?
University, but still.
Ooh.
I'm still very much high on Barrera. I don't see any reason we shouldn't be. If optimism and hope is the only thing that we have as Reds fans, why not direct it towards this guy? It blows my mind that people are so willing to toss him to the curb after 2 weeks of poor production, and they are in love with Kyle Farmer, who's had 10 years of poor production. I just don't understand it. Like, let the guy go out there and figure it out or not. And if he doesn't, we'll always remember that time that he was super hot in AAA like we do Aquino.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Did you just mention Kyle Farmer? Because we got a private message. I don't know who sent that. It says that noted that Kyle Farmer's hitting third tonight. So how dare you?
The heart of the lineup.
Oh, my gosh.
If you'd have told me wrong, I would love to see more out of Barrero than what we're seeing. He's in a bad place. He was in a bad place in AAA when they brought him up. So to expect him to shoot out of the gates like a world beater is a little bit crazy. But I got a little annoyed that they pinch hit for him a couple of days ago. Did you see that?
I understand that, but
I'm an Alejo Lopez fan, but wins don't matter right now.
Well, that's a good point. But on the other hand, Jose Barrero can't hit a breaking ball. And that's going to be a problem if he doesn't figure that out soon. And David Bell tried to.
Yeah, but you had some no-name catcher behind him, and you needed 2 runs. Like let the guy that can actually put the ball out of the ballpark swing away if you're trying to win.
I bought into the David Bell was protecting Barrero argument. I think that I was enough persuaded by that.
Yeah. But on the other hand, the flip side of that is the guy's got to learn at some point. He's not going to learn sitting on the bench. I am sorry to interrupt, but I love the white helmets, but they are definitely giving me a great Gazoo vibe. Great.
They look really big.
I really need to ask if Nate and Joe understand that reference because
I do. I actually had Flintstone socks on at work today, so I do get the Great Gazoo reference.
Excellent. Oh, I think about the Flintstones. I'm going to go ahead and say it in public. Is that we had one of the teachers and coaches at my high school, still actually teaching and coaching, and as a matter of fact, is a high school Hall of Fame coach. I will not mention any names, but actually, I'm not gonna tell the story. There's a chance that some family will listen to this. I'm not gonna tell it. Never mind. Jonathan is on second base.
We like that.
Kyle Farmer got a hit.
Duck snorts for the farm dog.
Gotta love it. All right, so here's what I want to ask you all about. Are you all worried about the fact that this one of the pitchers that the Reds are really depending on went on the injured list this week? And of course, I'm talking about Robert Duggar. How worried are you all about Robert Duggar potentially not being available for the Reds the rest of the year?
Robert Duggar was uniformly mocked in my house when he was on the mound. And my kids walked through the family room and saw him pitching. We were like, what's this dude? What's he doing?
I literally turned the game on and I was like, I've seen that guy before, but I don't remember who he is. And I watch the Reds just pretty much every night. I talk about the Reds every week. I write about the Reds every week. And I was like, he looks kind of cool, but I don't really know who he is. No, Hunter Green. No one is worried about Hunter Green, are you?
Quick aside, it's not good when you're an obscure current Red. Former Red, okay, but an obscure current Red.
That's like a new category.
That's the 2022 Reds in a nutshell. Obscure current Reds.
Oh, Joey. Almost. Yeah, that is fantastic. That is perfect, Joe. That is, how many obscure current Reds do we have? There are like,
yes,
at least all of them, except Joey. Oh, that's beautiful.
What was the guy's name yesterday?
TJ Zoik.
Yeah, who is
Zoik.
this guy?
I want to
Zoik.
ask you all how to pronounce
Zoik.
it before we got started.
Yeah, first
I had to look up
rounder.
how to pronounce it.
Yeah,
I looked
he's
it up
from-
and it said it was Zoink.
Yeah, he's a local kid. He's from Mason. Drafted by the Blue Jays in 2016, I think, first round out of University Pitt. Up and down a little bit, got released. Cardinals had him in their organization. Reds got him, picked him up from their organization. And he's first round talent, but again, that was 6 years ago, and getting shelled by the Mets doesn't,
You know who else was a first round draft pick in 2016?
Roger
Justin
Salkeld?
Dunn.
Oh.
Yes.
The Reds have 2 first round draft picks from 2016, losing games for that.
I feel like at some point in the mid 2000s, there was like, they're showing Johnny Bench wandering out of the corn again. They
in the middle of the game, he's just wandering around.
Johnny
If you could watch this with no context, that would be an amazing.
I got worried for a minute. I'm like, no,
They're playing
get back in
baseball.
the seats, Johnny. Wasn't there a point where they had like 8 first round picks from one draft at some point, like kind of the tail end of the Jim Bowden era?
I don't remember that, but I would be all in on the Reds just saying like 2016, like you said, let's just see if we can get every guy from the first round that year.
They do have
Who cares
3.
who's on our team? They've got
They
3
do
of
have
them.
3. Well, they got 3 guys from 2016 losing games for him: Dunn, Zoik, and Nick Senzel.
Oh,
That draft sucks.
we are
Like,
still
I've gone
pro
back-
Sinzel on this podcast.
I've
Joe,
gone back
you had to do that to me,
roast-
buddy.
Sorry.
I've gone back to try to roast Nick Senzel and be like, oh, they drafted badly. That whole draft is terrible.
So why not try to make a whole? If we don't, who cares if we win or not on the major league level? Let's just try to get everybody from one draft.
Okie
No,
Your
dokie.
entire
Looking around.
If we were doing a gimmick roster, it is thick boys. I am sure of that.
look,
We
I'm
know
like
you're a
Vogelback.
Joey chaser.
I want that Vogelback guy.
We
Oh,
know
that
you're
guy.
a Joey chaser.
I want my Vogelback. Sorry. Apologies. I'm out. I'm done.
we have a question that's directed to Joe here, so I really don't know what it means, and so I'm gonna have to. There's the question on your screen.
I had to duck out of the live Zoom because my enchiladas rancheras arrived, and they're good as always. Shout
that's
out
right.
Shout out to El Jinete. So
There you go.
You know-
That's right. You did.
That question
Go
came
ahead,
from
Nick.
Joey Gatitza, one of our favorite patrons on patreon.com/Riverfront Cincy. Sandwich
Okay.
plug. But see, it's not always baseball. Sometimes we get together and we talk about what we're having for dinner. It is truly a family.
Mm.
We got together and watched the game the other night by Zoom, and that was fun. And I forgot that's why Joe had to duck out. He had Mexican food. So,
Well, we talked about why Joe ducked out. Let's talk a little bit about why Joe is here tonight.
yeah, let's do that. Actually,
Is there,
let's.
is there something happening tomorrow?
I'd like to get to the bottom of this.
It's
It's a
Zach
mystery.
Kozart's birthday is tomorrow.
Ooh,
Hold on,
Did
stop.
you-
Hold on. Rest in peace, Zach Kozart. Moment of silence.
And mine
Whoa.
too, but
Did something happen?
that's secondary.
Ooh.
No, he's just not a Red anymore. It's your birthday tomorrow, Joe.
It is.
Hooray!
All right.
Congrats.
Let me know what you're celebrating. I'll call the bar.
Here with the kids and wife. So
Yippee!
Call the bartender.
yes,
We'll get some Mexican food delivered.
I'm down for that.
Postmates a bottle of wine. Can I do
Oh,
that?
Johnny's in the booth.
Oh, Johnny's in the booth.
Got the hat on.
Before we get into why Joe's here, I got to say there was a bunch of Cincinnati Bearcat fans in my mentions today, going nuts about the fact that Johnny Bench is wearing a shirt that has a little tiny Cincinnati Bearcats logo on it. So that's a thing. Just whatever.
They used to play at Johnny Bench Field.
Yeah, they don't anymore because
No,
Johnny
now
Bench
it's-
sucks.
Isn't it Mark Shot Field?
It was March Shot, and then they stripped the name because they didn't want to be associated with.
With what, Joe?
Yeah, with what?
A very
They
now-
were associated with
a very kind-hearted dead lady. That's what they
they
don't
were
want to be
associated with dogs.
It was Marge Shot Field, then Pete Rose Field, and then what is it now?
It's I don't know if it's got a name.
Hitler
right
Field.
What is it?
now. I don't think it has a
I'm
name.
only saying it
Let's
once.
just let that one roll. We'll go back and replay the tape if you want to hear what Chris just said.
I'm gonna have. I didn't miss that one. Yikes. So anyway, Nate, you were trying to go somewhere before. Listen, we're off the rails for good tonight. Let's just deal with it. But try to get us back on the rails for a moment.
Just a little bit. So tomorrow, we talk about it all the time. We can't get too excited about the Reds right now. It's a one-night only affair. But there is a team in town you can get excited about, and those are the Cincinnati, formerly known as the Bungles, but now they are officially the Bengals. And they got a preseason game tomorrow. So we thought Joe would come on and say a little bit about it. And I think that Chris could probably chime in a little bit too, or he has to trade jerseys with Joe.
It is the inaugural game at Paycor Stadium since they since they sold the naming rights. And
Pay Joe Stadium.
yeah, that's
as all the memes are.
friend of the podcast,
That's
Mo Evers,
fantastic.
named it Payjo Stadium.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I wish I could take credit for something that clever. Yeah, I mean, it's the game's going to be kind of boring. There's going to be one projected starter for the Bengals playing, Jackson Carman. Outside of that, it's going to be all reserves unless you dig watching punter and long snapper battles.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. So my cousin was a long snapper for UC. He was the snapper for Kevin Huber when Huber was in for his first freshman sophomore year. So I do have a love for the long snapper. So
Sounds like it.
yeah,
Ew.
little bit. Was that?
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say a little bit of news and notes, injury updates. Joe Burrow guy has no timetable to return from his appendix being taken out. There's no reason for concern. Guessing he probably had some kind of infection afterwards because he still had a pick line and some for IVs and everything up until the other day. But he was tossing with some teammates a couple days ago. I guess he lost a handful of
He looks thin, doesn't he?
Yeah, they said it looks like he's lost maybe 5, 7, 8 pounds, but
I mean, it was noticeable from the video clips I saw. Like he looked like a thin dude.
Yeah, no reason to be worried. I mean, he's got a month, a little over a month before the season starts, so he's got plenty of time to, put the weight back on and get himself back into football shape. So
He's gonna make a call over there to Great American. Call up his buddy Moose. Say, hey, where's the buffets at? Where should I eat?
get the fry box.
Calories.
Give me some of them shakes, Moustakis.
He wouldn't play in the preseason anyway. Outside of maybe the same thing as last year when he did the one series just to kind of get his feet wet. More injury updates. They're in really good shape, all things considered. Alex Kappa and Lyle Collins are both back with no injury designation. They're being eased back into drills and everything, but they're healthy and should be good to go by the season, barring any new injury. Had a couple scares last week for guys on the back end of the roster. Dante Smith was carted off with a back issue. He's back on the field, just kind of working off to the side. Drew Sample had a knee injury, if you care about backup blocking only tight ends, but nothing major. He'll probably be back by the beginning of the season. So
Here's a question for you. If you had to go out for the Bengals right now, how many days in a row would you get carted off the field with a back issue?
one, because I'd be in the hospital.
Just one and done.
I couldn't make it back.
I retire.
Yeah, I just put me immediately into traction, and it's been fun. Give me the paycheck for the day.
So we're thinking position battles for the Bengals. You've really got one guard position, possibly.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it.
And a punt returner, maybe.
Yeah, there's special teams. There's always the returners are. It's either going to be Trenton Irwin, who's Darren Simmons loves him because he's a guy that, as he likes to say, best thing he can do is give the ball to the ref after a fair catch. So, left guard is the only spot, and Carmen's taken every first team rep, so I don't even know if that's much of an actual competition.
So that's good, right? That's a good statement about how far he's come.
It's his issue was maturity. He had a lot of issues with just I don't know, acting like he was still in college and not coming in physically and mentally prepared. And I honestly have not heard or read much about him at all, which is a good thing. He's not sticking out. They've settled Volson, who was the 4th rounder they drafted out of North Dakota State, Cordell Volson, has looked like a rookie 4th rounder. So he's not putting as much pressure as I think they would hope. And all things being equal, they want Carmen to win the job anyway. And I think he's doing what he needs to do.
It felt like they talked Volston up a little bit around the draft. As a tough guy and a gamer and a playing above his talent level type of guy to kind of like light a fire under Carmen as much as anything.
Absolutely. Play up the other guy. I mean, he's everything that Carmen wasn't. He's a guy from a small school. Didn't go to didn't go to a big football school like Clemson. He's a 4th rounder. I mean, those middle round guys, they're not guaranteed to even make the team first year. And Carmen was top of the 2nd round. So it apparently worked. So
yeah.
Go ahead.
So Joe, I'm going tomorrow. I'm a new season ticket holder.
Okay.
Going down with taking the whole family. We got a couple extra tickets to bring the wife and daughter who aren't going to be going most of the time. What should we be looking for tomorrow night besides fireworks and the Guns N' Roses and having a good time?
There are a couple guys that I think if I can pull up my sheet, are guys that I want to watch when I'm going to be watching the game. Chris Evans, who was the running back they got last year out of Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
He's
my next question was going to be about him.
Yeah, he's
Captain America. Plays for the Bengals.
Other Chris Evans. He's a dynamic receiver. If you saw the touchdown catch that he made against the Lions in the regular season last year, he can run routes like a receiver. He's got hands, really quick, great with the ball. He averaged 4.5 yards a carry on a handful of carries that he had. If he can show that he can pick up the blitz and he can, work in pass protection, I think he's got a good chance of unseating Samaje Perine as the 3rd down running back, which I would love to see. I like Perine, but as you can see in the Super Bowl, he can't be counted on to get 1 yard when it's 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. So, and then the backup, they'll probably be starting, but the defensive lineman, you've got Joseph Osai, who looked like Lawrence Taylor in his one series last year. He brought down Tom Brady. He rushed we
were all so excited.
Excited. And then he tore his knee. But he's back. They say he still shows the same explosiveness, and if he can show that he's a situational pass rusher, that's going to take a huge amount of pressure off of Trey Hendrickson. They rode him into the ground last year. He played a lot more snaps than he was ready for, and then what he should have. There's also the 7th rounder from Coastal Carolina, Jeffrey Gunner, who they said is showing very well. Same thing, showing a lot of burst off the edge. Again, game action is what's going to it's going to show if he's going to be practice squad, back of the roster, or can come in situations and do well. Other guy is Zach Carter. He was the end/tackle out of Florida that they're making the 3 technique to back up BJ Hill. And if he can show consistent push from the inside, that's another piece they can use, so they're not running BJ Hill too much, or they don't have to use DJ Reader in as many pass rush situations to keep him fresh against the run. So it's the D line and then punter and holder and then kick return.
Kwame Lassiter tomorrow.
Yeah, all of the writers that I've read, they're all about him. They say he runs routes like a pro, and he can be dynamic in the return game. And he's on other special teams. I don't know if he's doing gunner and things like that, but there was the other, I can't remember the name, I didn't write it down, there's another undrafted receiver that's exact same size guy out of Wisconsin, showing similarly not as flashy in the return game, but he's not a returner, but they said to look out for. So
all I know is that you can still get the Bengals at plus 2,200 to win the Super Bowl, and they're still not favored to win the AFC North. I think that is the easiest money that you can put on in the NFL.
Kendrick Pryor, that's what his name is. Okay. when I was at dinner last night, they had top 8 odds for winning the NFL MVP, and Joe Burrow's name was not included among those 8 names, which is absolutely laughable. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not saying I'm a betting man, but if I were, there are some enticing, some juicy Bengals bets that one could make. It seems like they're getting no respect in the North. I don't understand why everybody seems so ready to give it to the Ravens. I mean, the Bengals got better.
Yeah.
I mean, they had some good fortune, we'll call it, last year for sure.
Yeah.
But you need more than just luck to make it to the Super Bowl, almost win. And the Ravens got worse.
They stomped the Ravens worse than anybody they beat all year long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to the Ravens, maybe not credit, but to their defense, they had so many guys hurt, especially the second game. I think I could have walked in off the street and played in the secondary.
Until you got carted off with a back injury.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, you can't use injuries as an excuse. The Bengals curb stomped them twice. The Bengals' one glaring weakness is repaired. Ravens have no wide receivers. They've got 25 tight ends to throw the ball to, and I don't even know. And
a quarterback that can't throw the ball with any accuracy.
Not consistently. Yeah, I mean, he's a great player, but his legs are going to start breaking down in a couple of years. As much as he runs the ball and takes hits, their offensive line wasn't very good last year either. He took a lot of sacks, so he's going to have to learn to throw the ball. And Mark Andrews is only going to be open so many times. So, I mean, who's their number 1 receiver? Rashad Bateman, it's the guy that they got drafted last year from Minnesota. They traded Hollywood Brown, so the Browns are not going to have Watson all year. I think that
what a shame.
Yeah, he's going to play tomorrow, and like I put in Slack, I don't wish for injuries, but I wouldn't be sad if someone or the entire team went for his knees and head. And just get someone who's going to be, tell someone who's going to get sent off, cut next week anyway. Just say, hey, just go after his knees. And I don't feel bad about that.
That statement,
I'm
well
gonna
justified, was not sponsored by the Riverfront podcast.
I've got a wife and a daughter. I'm not going to be mad if a predator gets taken out at the knees. So
to answer a quick comment, no, Joey, there are no love for the Washington Commanders. Sorry.
Not as long as Daniel Snyder owns the team.
What about this question from, I presume, I presume this is about baseball. Is this the only game that either team will play before a sellout crowd? I say no, because look who's batting. It's Aristides Aquino. I'm sure people are buying tickets to watch him hit.
Robust.
At what point do we start changing what was actually being punished by the Punisher?
Who's he punishing?
My eyes have been punished.
Brutal.
So,
this game is taking 19 years, by the way. It's the second.
It's a long.
It's just the bottom of the second.
Now Garber, you married into you married into a family that are Chicago Cubs fans, but your children, you've successfully directed them in the direction of the Cincinnati.
Not all.
Bengals.
My 14-year-old is a jerk Cub fan.
I thought you were just going to stop it, jerk.
I'm stealing that. I'm.
That's great.
That's stolen from what's his face, the head writer of Parks and Rec.
Michael Schur.
Michael Schur calls his son a jerk Dodger fan. So yeah. My oldest is a Cub fan. My middle son is a Reds fan, and my daughter is bandwagon as can be.
There you go. That's the only way to be. She'll be happier.
That's the move.
She'll be happier than anybody.
Yeah, exactly. The number of people on this earth that get upset every single day over the team they chose when they were 9 years old is really one of the more astounding. There needs to be a real mental health study about this, because it's just astounding how many people get angry. And believe me, they yell at me every day on the Twitters, get angry over a team they picked when they were 9. And often because, their parents or grandparents like the team, or they just happen to be born somewhere close by. I often wonder how much happier I would have been if I'd been born in the vicinity of New York City instead of in the vicinity of
Well, the Mets
Reds
have been-
country.
No, yeah.
The
No,
Mets have
pure
given
luck.
people a lot of pleasure over the years.
That's right. Speaking of the Mets, I got to show you all something here. Let me see if I can find this. The Reds played the Mets
The
this week.
9 Mets are my favorite squadron.
The 9 Mets, yes. One of my friends. Let's see.
You got
here.
friends?
One.
It was one
And
of
he's-
us.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say that's kind of way of saying relative.
Yeah. Jose Barrero got out. I can't believe it.
They really need to stop
Anyway-
showing him breaking pit. This is
Yeah.
just rude. It's not good TV.
Yeah,
Can you request,
absolutely.
tell the pitchers before the game, is it okay? Can you just fastballs only?
Please.
Yeah.
Let's see how this looks. I don't know what I'm doing here, but there we go. You can kind of see it with us all around it. That's
the
a
Meds.
photo that he took at the Reds Mets game, and I guess the D family was there, and they had half Reds, half Mets jerseys. That was pretty cool, I guess.
So
We have the best Diaz.
I would like to
Who?
observe. If you put that back up, Chad,
I will.
it's the
Yes.
most uneconomical display I've ever seen. Were I doing this, you would see an equal
Tell us.
number of left side and right side Reds.
Oh, yes.
He's in
Those
the
are
middle.
all they bought. Every one of them bought 2 jerseys.
Chris has
Rather
been doing his.
than-
Chris is worried about
Yeah.
inflation. He's been doing his family budget.
You see that? Like they all bought a white Met jersey and a red Reds jersey.
Yes.
Those guys really missed out.
Oh man. I hope someone in their family is making big league dollars that can help pay for the.
I was going to say
Did
somewhere
y'all
there's a
see
village-
the? Go ahead, Joe.
I was going to say somewhere there's a village in Mexico or Puerto Rico that has all
other
left
side.
left side Mets, right side Reds. It's like the Super Bowl loser who gets the T-shirts
Yeah.
that they print up for the Super Bowl loser. They go to some village.
Speaking of Bengals,
Did y'all see the awesome video making the rounds on the internet this week of Edwin Diaz's entrance, and the camera followed him from behind as
Yeah.
he? Oh man, there is nothing like a good closer entrance.
That's one of those you feel like you're just going to go run straight through a brick wall and just keep going fast. It's almost as enthralling as Todd Coffey's full beer guts.
Running at a full sweat.
And then blowing a 3-run lead.
So who was that random guy that, well, on my screen just struck out for the Reds? Some
somebody
catcher.
struck out. Oh, Austin Romine. He hasn't struck
Romine
out yet.
Lettuce.
Oh, there he just struck out.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
I hadn't even seen the footage yet. I just assumed.
You guys are behind me.
Well, we're an hour into this show, and the Reds haven't gotten through the lineup a single time yet. We're at the
I
bottom
got
of the
India,
second.
so that's not the lineup.
No, I guess that's true.
Yeah, Barrero's bet that
Just
twice.
happened.
Oh, the Reds.
Well-
Do we have any viewer mail questions that might be interesting to discuss? Let's see here. How about this? James Scott Pyle. Again, these questions come from our friends at patreon.com/riverfrontcincy. The Reds are wearing their 1919 uniforms tonight. The 1919 Reds were absolutely the better team in that World Series. Discuss. That's a hot topic.
The Reds
I want-
were using Pythagorean record, which is, you take the runs scored, runs against, and the Reds record was 92-48. White Sox were 84-56.
Ooh,
So
I like it.
and it depends on whether you feel the American League or the National League was the stronger league top to bottom. But you got an argument the Reds were the better team. Reds
I went a
had
different direction and said that the team OPS plus, the White Sox were 104, the Reds were 103, so virtually a wash, the slight advantage to the Sox. But ERA plus, Reds 126, White Sox 106. So
Reds
huge
pitching was
advantage
dominant.
in the pitching department.
if you look at just the guys all the way down, all the starters were in the worst starter had an ERA plus 107. Three guys in the pen were like 120, 130, somewhere around there. So their pitching was lights out.
It was just terrible what Shoeless
What a
Joe
big
did in that
hot Eller
series by setting the major league record for hits in a World
I
Series.
know we really should have had Bill on this episode so he could have told us what the papers were like the next morning.
You hear that, Bill?
Oh, yikes.
He's sitting there with the ticker off
now.
reading the Morse code off the ticker like it's the stock market as Reds win 5-3 and huzzah.
Hey, ew.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bill, I love you.
Chris, did you write a chapter about the 1919 Reds in that book? I don't remember who wrote that
I
chapter.
think that was yours.
Was it mine? I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
I once thought about writing a book trying to make the case that the 1919 Reds would have won that series anyway. And then I thought, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. I've got a day job. Why would I even consider that?
4 people would have bought that book.
4 people. 4 people. And they're all here on the show. Let's see. We got another question here. I know we do if I can find it. How do you see, this is from our buddy Hooper Powell. How do you see the final standings turning out in the National League Central if you actually care?
We're not doing that anymore?
No, we're not doing that anymore. I don't care how they turn out, but I will note that the Reds, unfortunately, after the Mets series, are now back in last place. Did you all notice that?
Oh, I did not. I was loving that 3-day stretch where they were in third.
It's pretty cool.
I'm going to quote the great wordsmith when talking about the how the standings are going to be. It's to quote Clubber Lang, pain.
I'm going to tell you something. It was kind of cool when the Reds were in third because after what I mentioned at the top of this broadcast, looking back at every season and where the Reds were on August 10th since 1985, there haven't been many times when the Reds were in third place. So third place was awesome. Like a little more of that.
Thanks, Phil.
Yes.
It's tough, man.
please.
It's tough out there.
Tough out there for a Reds fan. Oh, man. By the way, the Reds are not winning this game. If you're listening to this later.
That explains.
Reds
We're
haven't
talking
come
about
back
the
yet.
Reds. That explains what's in Chris's cup, what's in my cup. What I can only assume is in Chad's cup. Appendixless Joe Burrow. I don't know what you're drinking, but
Fruit punch.
Mine's
Fruit
water.
punch.
I got water. Wahoo-wah. Hey, Joe, you spent some time in Wahoo-wah territory, right?
I did. Loved every second of it. Again, I'm still upset that there was no copies of the Big 50 at the Barnes & Nobles right off of campus. You really need to get with the Alumni Association.
I know, right? And as I was saying, there were 2 copies at the bookstore on campus in their section for alumni authors at one time, and I presume they've either sent them back to be burned or I doubt they were sold at the UVA bookstore, but there were 2 copies at one time.
They're not being taught in English lit class?
No. I wouldn't know. I didn't take that class.
You have Steinbeck, Ernest Hemingway, and
Faulkner.
Dotson and Ryan Wagner.
Dotson and Ryan Wagner.
It
takes there we go. It takes a special, a special guy to come on here and wearing a Bengals jersey or a Bengals shirt. How dare you all defile this Cincinnati Reds? For those of you that aren't watching on YouTube, the 2 on the bottom here have Bengals attire. How dare you? That's all I'm saying. How dare you?
And I've got Gino over my shoulder.
Not the right Gino, not the correct one.
Oh, Gino.
Gino Suarez.
did y'all see the Reds signed, what's his name, Chucky Robinson?
Chucky.
Yes.
Big news. Do you think they signed him just because his name sounds like somebody that might have played in the 1919 World Series?
Maybe. Chucky Robinson is the third catcher because you always need a third catcher.
For one game.
Why not?
That's the thing. He's only up for the 27th guy for this game. So why a catcher? Why not someone who can hit? Which I guess is nobody, but
Well, that's
Louisville's pretty bad.
For years, there was this thing where you can't pinch hit with your catcher because what if your catcher gets hurt? And it literally never happened in the history of baseball that a catcher got hurt and you ran out of catchers or two catchers got hurt. And so you ran out of catchers. That's not a thing that happens. But so now they have a third catcher instead of bringing up, couldn't they find a place on the 40-man roster for Ellie De La Cruz? Just go ahead and bring him up. Let him bat in this game.
Blah, blah, blah. Service time. Blah, blah, blah.
Ooh. Ow. You guys will see this in a couple seconds.
I'm not sure I want to.
Yeah.
Joey Votto's mic'd up.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he is.
They
could have found a wireless mic for Joey.
Not a Reds injury, but an injury.
I think he has a cord connecting him to the dugout, Chad.
Oh, all the way over to the dugout. Come on, it's 2022. Give me and you're way ahead of me.
Well, what do you think about all the?
Oh no!
Yeah, that's Contreras.
What do you guys think?
At least India was nice enough and tagged him out first before he called. He's
a ball player. Ball player.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the this new thing? Oh,
yeah, that's not
this
good.
new thing of Jonathan India does it. Dudes wearing their baseball pants like 3 inches above the knee, with within a sock like pulled up over the knee. It's
kind of like
going
a football
in
look.
and baseball. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, it's a football look. I'm not either, but it's better than wearing it like where they were like stepping on the back of the. I think they're wearing the pajama pants.
Yeah, they had the Velcro underneath that goes underneath the cleat just so it stays pulled down as tight as possible.
Yeah,
I am totally okay with it. Yeah,
why is this dude
always been pro stirrups? Pull him up.
He's not.
He should be walking this off.
He's walking off okay. Like he's coming off the field and he
Let's
looks.
go back to the corn.
Yeah. He was never seen again.
Yeah,
I hope he is not hurt. He's a heck of a player.
Yeah, and especially next year when he's playing for somebody else that isn't the Cubs.
Yeah, my boys in middle school, they're required to have knee pads in their football pants, and so I went out and I had to buy them like these foam knee pads that are like this big.
Really?
Does this only apply if they're playing football, or do they just have to walk around with pads?
No, in football, yeah, they have to wear football pants to school. They're really dedicated here in Ohio. They're gonna wear football pants to school, helmets during math. No, but they've got
a helmet.
These knee pads. They're not going to do anything. They're like as big as like a silver dollar. They have to be in the pants.
Rules.
Well, it came down from above. You know that the NFL only cares about safety, so
yes,
they're getting started in the youths. Well, watching the injury makes us ask. I mean, we touched on it earlier, but we got away pretty quick. Is anybody concerned about Hunter Green?
Oh yeah, that guy. No.
The fact that they announced that they were like, he got an MRI and it came back negative. I was like, I thought it was just shoulder fatigue.
Yeah, we're just giving him a break.
Knowing the Reds, it wouldn't surprise me if they were like, oh, sorry, a 60-day DL, his arm literally fell off.
But there were times when the Reds would not do an MRI on someone because they were. I think it's because they were afraid of getting bad news.
You remember when Joey Votto was in like 2010? Joey Votto was in he's on the West Coast, so we're just gonna let him tough it out for a couple weeks. Like they didn't get an MRI for like 11 days because he was on the road trip. But positive.
Joey Votto's not the level of star that Hunter Green is. So why would you
positive at the machines? Just get him checked.
I think this is kind of just a load management thing. Like he might have needed to skip a start or might have even pitched through it, but he's right about where the inning level that he pitched last year. So let him sit a month, a few weeks, a month even, and then bring him back in September to, just to top off the inning or top off the season.
I think you're right. He's only four innings shy of what he threw last year. Ashcraft's already surpassed what he threw last year.
Yeah.
So we might be seeing more Mike Minor. And how do you pronounce that random new guy's name? Zoik?
TJ Zoik.
Zoik.
Sounds like something they would have said in Scooby-Doo.
Not Zoinks. That's Shaggy.
Zoinks.
Jinky Scooby.
Ruh-roh.
I posted a Shaggy picture yesterday because it sounds just like Shaggy.
Well, I have to say this, and no one will understand it. But that picture I showed earlier, I said my buddy. I pretend like I had a friend. Who, it's a guy that I went to law school with, and I've never met anyone in my life that looked more like Shaggy. Great guy, I love him, but he looks exact. And he used to get mad that every Halloween we'd try to get him to dress up like Shaggy, and he wouldn't do
That
it.
guy's now the governor of Missouri.
Shaggy,
I mean, we would get ready for a Halloween party, and I was all dressed up like Velma, and he would not dress up like Shaggy.
It looks like Shaggy, the Jamaican rapper guy, or Shaggy the.
It wasn't
Shaggy! Yeah, whatever you want. Yeah.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
Oh my. Well, guys, I don't know. We've really not talked enough about the Reds tonight, but we probably ought to put a pin in this one, land this plane.
People nationwide have been talking about the Reds all evening. They didn't need us to.
I need to go get a quesadilla.
Clay Christian just commented, said that apparently Joey Votto just dropped Inner Circle. So he must be a big fan of Chad Dotson, who also loves to use the word Inner Circle.
Do I use that term? Have you and Clay been making fun of me, Nate? All right, that's fine.
It's just a fact.
Reasonable.
It's just a fact.
Reasonable. That's all right. Everybody makes fun of me. I don't care. How about we will go around and see if we have any final thoughts. We'll start with you, Nate.
Start with me. I'm going to miss Robert Duggar. It was great while it lasted. Guys, we still have a few things to look forward to. Hunter Green does come back. He was kind of nasty for the last month. 2.7 ERA his last 4 starts, 29 strikeouts, 8 walks in 23 innings. My boy Graham, I do smelling salts in between innings. Ashcraft, he's got a 2.84 over the last month. That will do. I don't know. We're going to find a way to have some fun. We're going to bring a lot more Bengals content because, like I said, we're going to find a way to have some fun.
This is the Bengals podcast.
It's the Riverfront. There are so many sports in Cincinnati. Go FC Cincinnati. Go, I don't know, are there other teams? Whoever's playing at the arena.
Cyclones.
Appendixless Joe Burrow. Any final thoughts for us tonight?
Hooday.
There we go. That's the only thing to say.
That'll do.
Garber, why are you very concerned?
I don't remember anymore. I think that was Hunter Green. Hunter Green.
Oh, okay.
I'm very concerned.
Any for those of you that are listening rather than watching, he changes his name every 5 seconds because he thinks he's witty. Any final thoughts for us there, Garber?
Hooday, I believe, is all I can say.
All right. Well, I'm not going to say
Who
that
are
because
they?
Is that Bengals exclusive, or if the Reds are ever good again, can they say Hooday?
Can the Reds steal
That's
that?
all hypothetical.
Are the Reds ever going to be good again?
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard about 2024, but apparently it is
Lots of shortstop.
Cincinnati shortstops.
A lot of dudes playing shortstop.
I don't think they
You
should
guys-
move it. They should just, hey, if the shift isn't banned, everyone play it short. 7 guys, and then a pitcher and a catcher. And then you break like a football huddle. Like the pitch comes in, and then you just, go head out on your pattern.
Hunter and his court.
I like this.
You know what? You guys are far too cynical. You don't love the Reds like I do, and so I'm never inviting any of you on again because you need to be positive about the Reds.
It's been fun. See you later.
Oh, guys, this was fun. This is the Riverfront episode 438. That's ridiculous. Thanks for all of you for joining us. I don't know, whatever. We're YouTube. I don't know. Go use Google.
Whatever,
Find us. I don't
Google it.
care.
We're at all the places.
Yeah.
All the places.
Yeah. Why do we have to tell you? Good Lord. I don't know. Whatever. Goodbye. Oh boy.
Cobb wanted to come, and that was going to scare the son of a bitch when he's alive. So he told him to stick it.
Oh, more Ray Liotta laughs.
Oh my goodness.
One of my favorite moments of the movie was when they were
Nate, you were talking, and
Tune in next time.
so we're not going to end it. You were getting ready to tell a story, and I wanted to hear it, so we're going to stay on the stream here.
We lost one.
Yeah, we lost Garber. He had to get out, but go ahead, Nate. Finish it, and then we'll end this thing.
I was just going to say that it cracked me up today when I was watching it, and they talked about having lights on the field, and they're like, "Yeah, the owners figured out they could make more money that way." And then Shoeless Joe just shakes his head and goes, "Owners." Like this is too perfect for the Riverfront.
That holds up. It holds up. We need to do a version of it where we just like dub over that and just him shaking just Castellini.
If anybody out there is technologically savvy, make that happen.
Absolutely. Guys, this was fun. Thanks to all of you that listened in on it and commented. Love you guys. I don't love you guys that are on the show here, but thanks for being here anyway. And we'll do it again soon. Yeah, well, all right, whatever. Good night.